Back on the field here this week. Certainly needed some time off for our football team to heal up, to get better mentally and physically, get recharged for the home stretch here. And we had a good off week. I thought we got some rest early in the week, got healed up a little bit, and had some good practices towards the end of the week. Worked on ourselves primarily on areas we needed to improve. We did quite a bit of self-scout and evaluated ourselves, and again, continue to try to build on the good things we're doing and improve in the areas where we're falling short, but also got ahead and got a little bit of work done on Vandy that gave us a head start heading into today. So beautiful day out there today, and looking forward to getting back on the practice field.
Okay, we will throw it open for questions at this time. First one is Josh Moore.
Hey Mark, welcome back.
Thanks.
Looking at some of the stuff that's played out in the league the past couple of weeks, and then with you guys too, obviously this year dealing with COVID adds a whole another thing as far as injury, quote unquote injury. But how hard is it to get a second string ready to go? I mean, because we've seen it a little bit, guys. I mean, I think it played a big role in the Florida-Georgia game. It seems like every team, regardless of talent level, perceived from the outside, struggles once you get that first string kind of knocked out at any position. Is it harder than we think it is, I guess, is kind of what I'm getting at.
Well, I mean, again, it is what it is. I don't think any of us really want to use it as an excuse. It's a strange year. It's definitely different. We all have to deal with this issue as it comes at us, and it's been there's a lot of things that we are dealing with, that we have to deal with, that you don't see. And again, it is what it is. I have no idea what transpired with Georgia, or what issues they may or may not have had, and same with Florida a couple weeks earlier. We all have to deal with it. I think some teams are deeper than others. I think we have to continue to just get better, whoever's in there. Injuries happen as well when you're dealing with a 10-game SEC schedule. It's going to be extremely physical, and there's going to be a lot of injuries. I know, coming out of the Georgia game, both ourselves and Georgia had some guys really banged up. We're dealing with some situations here right now. I mean, I'm down 3 offensive staff members right now that are not here. So we just have to deal with it the way it comes at us, and do the best we can.
Lonnie?
Mark, being who I am in the community and what have you, I know you know who I am, and a lot of people ask. There's a lot of money. I'm encountered with a lot of Monday morning quarterbacks who think they have enough information to make them think they can coach a team and coach a particular position, what have you, and most of which I rebut. The question is that they want to know, based on what they're seeing, is this offense a monolith? And if it is, what do you do to address that?
Is it a what, Lonnie? What was the last part of it?
Is it monolithic? In other words, I guess one track, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, I mean, there's no denying that we've been falling short in the passing game. I've not denied that, and our coaches haven't, and players. We need to improve. We need to be more balanced. I talked about that coming into the year, and we haven't been as efficient throwing the ball as we need to. We worked hard last week during the open week to go back and look at the things we've done well, the things we've done well in the past in the camp, and try to continue to improve in that area. So that's what we're going to try to do.
Okay, John Hale.
Mark, how do you go about making a quarterback decision this week, and then also how do you balance winning now, but also preparing for the future, especially with the 2 young quarterbacks that you're going to need in bigger roles next year after Terry's gone?
Yeah, I just don't, as I mentioned last week or maybe the week prior, I believe it was you, John, who asked the same question. But I'm never going to give up. The person who's going to give us the best opportunity to win right now is who we're going with, because we're here to win games and what we're going to do. But there is a balance there. I mean, I do want to see. I want to continue to be fair and to be right to Terry. And if he gives us the best opportunity to win games, he'll be in there. And he did have a good week of practice last week. With that being said, I still think Joey and Bo have great upside, and I want to see them. And it's difficult because as you see, every possession, every play, it's so important. It's that position is unlike others. At other positions, we rotate guys in constantly, and it's not an issue because we need to rotate and we need to get bodies in there. However, at that position, it's very difficult. It feels like if you're shuffling guys at that position, you're reaching, and and it's difficult because the flow of the game is so important. Every possession is so important. We're in a lot of close games, so I understand the question. I think it's difficult either way. But again, I'm going to go with the guy that gives us the best opportunity to win on this coming Saturday. And, but with that being said, sure, I would love to continue to get Joey some reps, and I'd like to see Bo in there as well.
Next is Eli.
Hey, Mark, how do you keep the guys from overlooking a team that's coming in as a 17.5-point underdog? I know that's a role that you guys have been in, so maybe that is a little bit of an advantage. But then also, second part of that, what are some things that Vandy can do to really keep you guys on your heels?
Well, we need to worry about ourselves and focus on ourselves. The last time we went into a game as a favorite, we got our butts kicked from the beginning of the game to the end, and everywhere in between. We got totally and utterly dominated. So we need to worry about ourselves and getting ourselves prepared to play the best we possibly can. I was not very happy with the way we played. Again, the last time we were a favorite. I don't know if that has anything to do with it or where we were at in the season and what we were doing on the road. Whatever, it doesn't matter. We weren't good enough. So, our guys need to continue to focus on ourselves, our energy, our focus, our preparation throughout this week and getting ready to play. And that's what I'm concerned about. I want to get better. I want to get better with every practice. I want to get better with every game. You look at this past game with Vandy, they had 478 yards to 200 against a Mississippi State team that can play some darn good defense. And, at Mississippi State's not an easy place to go, and you can't bank on 5 turnovers. So they obviously played extremely well this past week, and we got to worry about ourselves and how we play.
John Clay.
Mark, in these last 4 games, what are you looking for from your quarterbacks moving forward?
Well, consistency. We've shown flashes, and we've been, I think, and that goes with us as well, giving them a good opportunity and keeping people off balance. So that we have to do a good job as coaches, putting them in position. We are successful at moving the football when we're balanced, when we can run the ball effectively. When we're efficient running the ball, it opens up a lot. When we've struggled, we've been inefficient running the football. So, we have to get the ball down the field. We've got to be more aggressive. We've got to, continue to just improve at that position.
Nick Roush.
Mark, you said you had some staff members out. Is that COVID related? And has that come across your team? I know you dealt with some issues in the preseason, but has it mostly just been injury related, or have you got COVID spark up any at all?
We've had issues. I don't think I'm allowed to get into specifics on that, but we have issues with COVID. It's not out of control. Let's hope it stays that way.
And as far as injuries, there was a lot of guys that went down in that Georgia game, especially in the offensive line. Do you have any? Are those guys going to be able to return this week?
We'll see how the week goes. I'd say it'll be close. They're not ready to go today.
Josh?
Looked like Quentin was back on the depth chart. Is he full ready to go back out there? Or is
Yeah.
that,
Yeah, Q should be ready to go.
All right, John Hale?
Marcus Cummings is a guy that you've talked about several times throughout the season. What do you like that you've seen from him so far, and what can he add as maybe he gets a larger role down the stretch here?
Well, he's just got to continue to improve and get better. I think what you like about him, obviously, is his size, and he makes tough competitive catches. As you can tell, there's going to be tight windows, and you have to go up and make tough competitive catches. He has a big, catch radius because he's long, so it gives the quarterbacks a good target and a guy with good, strong hands to go up and get it. He's got to continue to work on getting open at the line of scrimmage and creating space. But he's a guy that we will continue to work with, and hopefully he'll get some good playing time here down the stretch.
All right, let's see. There it is, Josh Moore. And again, last call for questions.
just going back to a little bit to what John was talking about, like to talk about the reps or who's going to start and stuff. But is there, like looking back at last year, before he had to go to Lynn full time, looked like he was probably going to get a lot of snaps in the Wildcat with Terry kind of as the main guy. Is there any?
Tony, it went completely off here, bro.
Hey, Josh, we lost you.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Is there a way to do, is there a Wildcat package there that you could maybe do with like say Joey and Terry, or is that something you're considering at all?
Well, if you look at some of the things that we've done in that we're doing, I think, coming into the year, you tried to build off some of some of the Q run game and design Q run games in the reads that we had a year ago with Lynn, with also obviously being able to throw the ball down the field and handing it to our running backs. So we've tried to build on that, and that hasn't been effective all the time. It's been effective at times, but we've been inconsistent. So obviously we need to get better at those reads, at the reads where the quarterback's involved, whether it's a give to the running back or it's a pull for the QB. There's several runs there that, again, we talk about week to week. Maybe we're off a play here or a play there, and again, I think that's going to happen with quarterbacks. The more opportunity they have, the better they get at it. But we also have to be able to throw the football off that. And I think that's the big area where we've fallen short. There's been a few games where we've been ineffective at both running the ball and throwing the ball. So that's not going to give you an opportunity to win. So bottom line is we got to continue to improve in the Q run game, and we have to get the ball down the field. And that getting the ball down the field is a combination of things. It's protection. It's quarterback giving the receivers an opportunity to catch the ball. It's receivers getting open and making competitive catches.
Hey, Mark, I was curious kind of what the prospects were coming down to this part of the season of seeing some of your younger offensive linemen, and you really haven't had a great opportunity to work some of those guys into the mix so far.
Yeah, we haven't. We just felt like we've been in such close games, and we've been rolling with the guys that we have. There's going to be some guys getting an opportunity this week just because of injury, so we'll see how they do throughout the week in practice.
John Hale?
Mark, I know you can't go into specifics about the missing coaches, but is this a scenario where having those additional support staff positions, GAs, whatever, helps you fill in some of those gaps this week? How do you go about it?
Absolutely, you have to. Yeah, we definitely will, and they give you the flexibility to move guys up and to give them the opportunity to coach on the field when you have issues like this. So, yes, that'll help us this week.
Nick Roush?
Much fuss has been made about wide receiver play, and I was wondering, AJ has done pretty well catching passes out of the backfield, and Kelvin showed he's got good hands. Have you worked at any of those guys catching passes at wide receiver? Is that a possibility?
Well, with AJ, yes, we worked that hard in camp, and we've done some of that before. So we need to continue to work the running backs. Yes, that is something that we'll look at, as the season goes on.
John Wong?
Mark, two interesting games this weekend with Florida, Georgia, and Clemson and Notre Dame. I didn't know if you got a chance to watch it, and are you able to watch those as a fan, or does your coaching acumen kind of kick in?
No, I did have an opportunity to watch some football on Saturday. That was our staff. That was our day off. For the week, and the coaches deserve that, and so I was able to watch a little bit of football, and enjoyed watching some games, and along with spending time and playing with my kids.
All right, John, you had a follow-up?
Yeah, we've got Veterans Day coming up on Wednesday, and I know there are a lot of veterans associated with Kentucky and with the fans. So I didn't know if you had a shout out for all the veterans out there.
Thanks, John. Appreciate that heads up, and absolutely want to thank all the veterans and greatly appreciate what they've done for us and what they do for us, and we thank you and we salute you.
Nick Roush?
Signing day is right around the corner, and in this year you'll play a game, 4 days before. How is the change in schedule affect your recruiting, and particularly this final 7-week stretch of the recruiting season?
Yeah, it's obviously very different, Nick. It's a different year. I mean, we have to do the very best we can. Obviously, we love getting guys to campus and as many times as possible. That's helped us have the success in the past of getting guys here and seeing our players and being around us and our players, and it's been difficult. It's the same for everybody, but it is hard for us because we believe in cultivating those relationships, and it's been hard to do.
All right, Jeff Drummond?
Yeah, hey Mark, this may or may not be particularly high on your priorities list right now, but we had someone on our side asking about on your punt returns. Said that I think he was a coach or something like that, and thought you were giving up too many hidden yards in the punt returns, and
probably talking about just simply fielding them. I know there was a change in the NFL. I was watching somebody over the weekend, and they made a change just simply because of letting too many balls go. There's a fine line there. I think that's fair criticism on certain punts. Sometimes if it's a very difficult punt and the returner's running up on it and doesn't feel like he has a clean shot at it, or he's maybe erred on the side of safety as far as possessing the football, that may be the only criticism, what he's talking about, and I understand that. And there's been a couple that maybe we could have fielded that ended up bouncing and getting probably 10, 15, 17 extra yards, and that may be what he's talking about. Outside of that, we get a lot of really good kicks that are hard to return. Same, watch teams try to return them against us. They don't. What do you think they're saying when they play us? It's pretty difficult to get return yards when you play us. and Max makes it bounce and roll for a crazy amount of hidden yards every game. So, but I think that's what he's probably talking about, and I agree. There's been a couple we could catch.
I was going to ask, as a follow-up to that, are punters like Max really making that a bigger headache than it used to be?
It is, and sometimes if it's inconsistent, if you feel like the punter is going to hit it, 43 to 47 yards in the air, and they hit it 35 yards in the air with not much hang time, the receiver may not feel real comfortable getting that. So, obviously we want our return guys to field the ball as cleanly as they can, with the number one objective is possessing the football and not fumbling it.
Josh Moore?
Mark, I meant to ask about this a few weeks ago when it happened, and it just kind of slipped my mind. There's Lynn on Twitter at some point said something about wishing he'd stuck around for senior year. I think he's made some comments like that a couple times. It seems like he's having, maybe a rough transition. Have you talked with him, or has Vince talked with him? Is there just trying to ease him along with that?
One of the last texts I had when I was congratulating him on his newborn baby girl was just to keep his head up and to keep on working. And I did remind him to think back to his freshman year here and how difficult that was for him, and to keep on, fighting his way through it and grinding through it. And he, responded back like he always does, is, "I got you, coach, I will do." And he'll get through it. It's I'm sure it's not an easy transition. But he is a fighter, and he'll fight his way through it and be successful.
And our last one today is John Clay. Go ahead, John.
Mark, even in an ordinary season, it's a long season and a grind, but this year with everything going on with COVID and playing SEC games week after week, how do you feel like your guys are holding up mentally at this point?
It's definitely different. I feel like we're holding up fine. It is definitely different, and I feel like the difference is again, the work that we put in relationships with our players, and we're not able to do that as well. I'm not able to communicate in a small room with them as often as I normally would, for COVID restrictions and not wanting to spread the virus. And so I think that's difficult. It's also difficult, we've worked extremely hard in the past of spending time with our players on Wednesday. The coaches have them over their house or take them to dinner and really try to spend quality time with their players. We're not able to do that. And so it's tough. We've done that once, where normally we would do that about every Wednesday. So I just feel like the unity of the team bonding, the areas where we work exceptionally hard, we're just not able to do it. And I feel a difference in that. I do the best I can in overcoming that. I think our players do. I still feel very, very strong about this team and the way they care about each other, but it is most certainly different.
All right, thank you very much.